American Autowire Complete Vehicle Universal and Classic Update wiring kits are the best wiring kits on the market for rewiring older vehicles. These kits are high quality and come with excellent instructions that are backed up with award-winning technical support. It is our goal to make your entire wiring experience as easy and as rewarding as possible. To that end, we have created this video outlining what we believe to be best practices to ensure that you have a successful wiring kit installation. Before you begin, note and save your wiring kit lot number, which is found on the outside of the wiring kit box. This lot number will be used for kit identification, tech support, and for warranty purposes. We recommend writing this lot number on your purchase receipt and saving the receipt in your files. Stop. Please read the instructions. Read the instructions found at the top of your kit packaging carefully, starting with the instruction page marked with a stop sign. Do not open any of the wiring kit bags before reading the front and back of this sheet. The instruction sheet contains a list of items included with the wiring kit. Please verify you have all items listed before you continue. Assemble your tools. After you have verified your kit contents, the following tools are recommended for installation: crimping tools, a test light, wire cutters, wire strippers, 6-inch and 8-inch wire ties, 1 roll each of vinyl non-adhesive harness tape and cloth adhesive tape, split braid sleeving, wiring retention clamps. The American Autowire part numbers recommended for installation can be found in the video description, in addition to being shown in this video. The last step you will want to do is to assemble and organize the instruction sheets from any aftermarket electrical components you are installing at the same time as your American Autowire kit. Familiarize yourself with those sheets. These might include instructions for aftermarket gauges, aftermarket ignition systems, electronic fuel injection systems, electric cooling fan relays or controllers, fuel pump relays or controllers, aftermarket AC and heater systems, and instructions for power accessories such as electric wipers, power door locks, power windows, and power seats. Now that you have your tools, supplies, and instructions organized, you are ready to begin installation. In this next segment, we will give you practical tips for installing your kit. Thank you very much for using American Autowire wiring in your project. We hope these best practices installation tips help on your vehicle wiring upgrade. Before starting your installation, the vehicle battery should be disconnected, and it should remain disconnected throughout the installation process, especially while wires are being routed, cut, and terminated. Begin installation of the wiring kit following the sub-kit bag order shown on the instructions with the heading "Start Here." Our wiring kits are designed to be installed in a specific order, usually starting with bag G. Generally, each installation bag comes with its own detailed set of instructions, so it is important to keep these instructions organized. One method to keep things organized is to staple or paperclip the sub-kit instructions together as you remove them from their packaging. You can also use file folders for individual instructions, highlighting completed instructions and laminating the instruction sets. The more organized you keep your instructions, the easier it is to complete the wiring. For ease of installation, some of our wiring harnesses have zip ties installed with the wires grouped into branches. Do not remove these zip ties. These are designed to make installation and wire identification easier. All the wires in a harness are identified on the instructions, so when you have a question about a specific wire, refer to the instructions to identify the function for the wire in question by using the wire color, wire labeling, and the branch to locate the wire on the instructions. It is often helpful to mark wires with masking tape if you will be installing the wiring over several sessions. The use of the appropriate crimping tools will greatly aid in harness installation. For most of our wiring kits, we recommend the crimping tool set 510-587 to complete the majority of the crimping duties. We have a crimping tool video on the product page that is a great way to get familiar with these tools. We also recommend the use of the crimping tool 500-665 for crimping the main power wires going to the mega fuses supplied with our wiring kits. When first installing the harnesses, we recommend routing and terminating the wires and then using zip ties to create bundles, before wrapping the harnesses in wiring loom or harness tape. This allows you to test your wiring and make corrections while the wires are still visible and easily accessible. After testing the harnesses, we recommend covering the completed harnesses in harness tape or with split braid loom. We offer both in our catalog. Our kits do not wire directly to the battery for power, but instead they connect to the positive battery cable on the starter solenoid. Our kits do not come with positive or negative battery cables. However, we do have both under-the-hood battery cables and trunk-mounted battery cables available for purchase. For all of our kits, the positive battery cable should be routed directly from the battery to the positive post on the starter solenoid. The positive battery cable should never be wired to the mega fuse assembly provided in each kit. Irrespective of where the battery is mounted, under the hood, under the body, or in the trunk, the negative battery cable should be routed from the negative battery terminal all the way to the engine block. The frame should not be relied on to connect the engine and body to the ground post on the battery. The negative battery cable should run from the battery to the engine block. Ground straps should then run from the engine block to the body and from the engine block to the frame. We have several sizes of ground straps available for purchase if needed. In addition to proper engine and chassis grounding, adequate grounding for all electrical systems is paramount for a trouble-free wiring installation. On vintage cars, most electrical components and body panels were made of metal or had metal housings. Therefore, auto manufacturers often designed electrical systems that rely on grounds to be passed through these metal pieces instead of using dedicated ground wires. This is common on many electrical systems including tail, license plate, park, fog light, and turn signal housings, relays including horn and AC relays, and wiper motors and switches. When testing electrical items, it is often critical to make sure that all the electrical components involved are fully mounted and have good metal-to-metal contact with other adjacent, well-grounded body panels. In many cases, modern restoration practices and coatings can insulate systems that relied on metal-to-metal contact when the vehicle was originally manufactured. For example, if your car has bumper-mounted turn signals, powder coating the bumper brackets can insulate the light housings from the battery, and this can prevent the turn signals from functioning, or can cause turn signal power feeds to bleed into other circuits. Thank you very much for using American Autowire wiring in your project. We hope these best practices installation tips help on your vehicle wiring upgrade. Newly painted fenders can insulate turn signals and brake lights, preventing proper function. Newly painted or powder-coated hood hinges can prevent the grounding of hood-mounted lighting. Painting the radiator core supports can insulate that structure. Items that ground through the core support will fail to function, such as headlights, park lights, front turn signals, and electric cooling fans. Newly painted firewalls can prevent the function of components that rely on metal-to-metal contact with the firewall for grounding, including wiper motors and various relays including starter, ignition, horn, and air condition relays. Newly painted fuel tank straps can insulate fuel gauge sending unit signals and fuel pumps, preventing proper operation. Newly painted dash panels can prevent dash lights and gauges from grounding and functioning properly. Often, all that is required to remedy this unintended insulation of electrical components is sanding the mating surfaces for the newly painted or powder-coated items. Additional, supplementary, ground straps and ground wires can also be installed to bypass the painted surfaces. Our wiring kits are designed to provide power feeds for all of the typical aftermarket equipment found on modern resto-mod car builds. However, our instructions are not meant to substitute for the installation instructions for those aftermarket items. It is imperative that the installer familiarize themselves with the instructions for all components being installed in the car. Our wiring kits typically provide the wiring for vehicles originally equipped with factory heater systems, not factory air conditioning. Additional wiring will be required to wire factory AC systems. Some of these harnesses may be available from American Autowire or other parts suppliers. In some cases, the factory AC wiring will have to be reused. Additional or original harnesses may be required when installing other factory or aftermarket options in conjunction with our wiring kits, such as power convertible top harnesses, power door lock harnesses, power window harnesses, standalone fuel injection systems, electric fan relays, electric fuel pump relays, and cruise control systems. Tech support. We understand that wiring an entire vehicle can be a daunting task, so we offer industry award-winning tech support from Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. When calling tech support, please have the part number for the American Autowire product you are installing available. We make over 6,500 wiring products, and we often offer several different wiring solutions for the same vehicle, so having the part number ready will reduce the chance of any miscommunications. Generally, when you call American Autowire technical support, you will receive a tech representative right away. However, there may be times, particularly during peak hours, when a tech agent may need to call you back. During those times, the first available support representative will call you back as soon as possible. There is no need to call back repeatedly. Typically, our peak call times are during lunch hours, Monday through Friday, on Monday mornings, on Friday afternoons, and 10 minutes before closing Monday through Friday. Oftentimes, if you call with a tech concern, we will ask you to perform some circuit testing, so it is best to have a working test light or multimeter handy when you call in. Also, we do not recommend relying on power provided by battery chargers, small lithium-ion batteries, or power probes for some circuits when testing your wiring. Please have your vehicle's battery fully charged when you call. Thank you very much for using American Autowire wiring in your project. We hope these best practices installation tips help on your vehicle wiring upgrade.